said, Mom, I'm going to take me off spotlight so that you can open up the space and say an opening prayer for us.
Thank you. Beloved Creator, beloved Beauty, beloved Mother, Father, Heart of the heavens, heart of the earth, beloved Creator, we thank you. We thank you for bringing us together on this beautiful, beautiful day of the winter solstice, beloved Creator. Today in our Mayan calendar is the day of It represents the spirit of the spiritual road. It represents who we are as we stand here on the earth, walking on our journey, our spiritual journey, beloved Creator. I would like to thank the four elements of life, beloved Beauty, the spirit of the sacred fire, the sun, the spirit of the sacred wind, the breath, the spirit of the sacred waters, beloved Creator, the spirit of the earth, beloved Mother. I wanted to thank the spirit of all of our ancestors around the globe, each and every one of us that is listening at this moment, in the future, to send prayers out to all of the ancestors. Beloved Creator, it's a sacred day today. It's the day in which we listen with our heart on the sacred words that are being said by our wisdom keepers, beloved Creator. Bless us on this day of journey, beloved Mother, Father, and bless us with every step that we take on this beautiful, beautiful day, beloved Creator. In the name of all that, the great mystery, in the name of all that exists, beloved Creator, I thank you.
Thank you, Mom. Could you talk a little bit more about the day on the Mayan calendar? I guess I find it, when we do these, I feel like everything perfectly aligns with the day on the Mayan calendar.
It's you know, that's the whole thing about how auspicious things are when we are in that place of prayer and in that place of giving ourselves to God, that we're guided and we are brought, when we come together to do gatherings with people, that we are put in such a sacred spot with the meaning of that day. And today is the day of our spiritual path, our spiritual journey. It's the day in which we pray to have a good journey, to be a good listener, because, you know, we are in a place to listen, to have our heart opened to the words that the Creator is going to send to us. So it's a very, very beautiful day in that respect. And of course, we're all on our individual path, on our individual journey, speaking our own individual language, and with all of our individual customs that we have, and the way that we honor this day of solstice. But even if we lit a little tiny little fire to ground us and to put us in that space of of celebration, of spiritual celebration. Even if this is all that we did was just light a little fire, and as we pray and we send our prayers with the smoke to the four directions, to everyone. We start off, of course, with prayers for ourselves first. And as we ask for personal prayers, we could then bring in our immediate family, our children, our loved ones, and also our pets. You know, we could be also praying, bringing prayers to our little fur babies. So we can do that. And it doesn't have to be a large fire. It could be something small. And for myself, because it's winter in New Mexico right now, in fact, the room that I'm in, it's a little chilly that I had to get up and get my gloves because I was beginning to feel the cold in my bones. But we think of ourselves first before we put the prayer out to everyone. So it starts with us, and that's the way that we start all prayers. Thanks, Heather.
Thanks, Mom. I'm going to bring me to the screen. And I think one of the things that you were mentioning, is that we have to think of ourselves as we're doing our prayers and take care of ourselves. And when I think about this winter solstice, it seems like it's, we're talking about, a lot of people talk about it as Yule. There's ancient celebrations going along with that. We're talking about, the moving from, I feel like, the darkness into the light as we move into 2023, looking forward to spring. What are we planting? What, seeds of intention? What are we doing on our spiritual path? What are we doing on our spiritual journey? And I think it's really important to set that intention, send those prayers, and do a little reflection on what you've been doing this past year. And I've heard you, Mom, always talk about honoring yourself, honoring your sacred path, to honor your sacred journey, and nurture yourself, nurture that sacred seed, to love yourself, and let's set those intentions today and send the prayers into the four directions. And, you always use the word bless yourself, and maybe you could talk a little bit about that. When you use the term bless yourself or talk about love and light, Mom, can you talk a little more about the importance that has for you?
Well, when we, take a little bit of herb and we bring it close to us, that little bit of fire, that little bit of smoke, we could bless ourselves with it, okay? Take the smoke and spread it around us, okay? We have to bless ourselves first. okay, and cleanse ourselves and clear ourselves. So that's the whole purpose of doing that first, because if we go into prayer, without cleansing ourselves, maybe we might have a heavy heart. Maybe we had a fight with somebody. Maybe we are worried about something. So we want to be able to clear all of that, clear the mind and clear, the heart, so that when you can go into prayer, you are in a place of clarity. And when we are in a place of clarity, we could also funnel the energy from the heavens. This is why we call the heart of the heavens and the heart of the earth. If we bring those two energies through our body, from our crown and then coming from the feet, and we merge it into the heart area, then we could send our prayers out, a band of light, a stream of light out into the four directions and around the globe. And we don't have to stop there. We could send it beyond the beyond, because we're not the only ones here in this existence, this universe of ours, So that's the way that that we do it.
Well, and when I was thinking about the winter solstice and, as we're moving to 2023, I found 2022 to be a difficult, hard year, coming off of a hard couple years. And I'm looking forward to 2023. And maybe I know for us as a family, it's been, hard. And maybe you can, I know many people are having whether, hardships right now coming out of, COVID in 2022. It seemed like the intensity of the energy, events going on in the world. And maybe you can talk about, a little, maybe it's a ritual or prayer or some kind of centering activity when people are feeling overwhelmed or having a hard time, of what you do.
Of course, we I've already mentioned about the heart of the heavens and the heart of the earth. Now, if we can at this moment, perhaps maybe you don't have to close your eyes, but perhaps maybe you can just give me your attention, okay? I'm sitting down right now, but whether you're sitting down or standing up, let's actually do the visualization. So in our prayer, we call on the heart of the heavens. The heart of the heavens is the cosmic energy, is what we call the energy of the above. And so we ask it to come through us, and it will come through the crown and penetrate throughout our body. And then we call the heart of the earth. And the heart of the earth starts in that central area of the earth where the magma is moving and boiling over, and it's liquid fire. So we think about that, and we call upon it, upon the heart of the earth. And before you know it, you will feel it at the bottom of your feet. And it'll start to come through your body, through the 13 sacred centers of your body. And as it comes up through your feet, you will feel it on the left ankle and then on the right. That's 1 and 2. And then you'll feel it on the left knee and the right knee. That's 3 and 4. And then you'll feel it in the left hip and the right hip, and that's 5 and 6. And then you'll feel it on your wrist, moving into the wrists. So that's 7 and 8, moving through your elbows, 9 and 10, and here in your shoulders, 11 and 12. Number 13 is right here in that place of the vocal cords. And that's the last place. You will feel it there, but you start merging it from the above, bring it together. And if you merge it in that place of the heart, then you will see the energy moving like a circle of light outside of your being, of your body. And then this light, you can send it intentionally to bless your home, to bless everybody in your family, regardless of whether you are living together in your home or you're living separate. So when we send it, it's being sent out. So the light has no limitation, and you can send it as far as you need to send it. And of course, you'll send it to your community, you will send it to your state, you'll send it to your country, your nation, and so on. And once we do that, we can expand all over the globe. And for many of us, we also can send it out into the other life sources.
Hmm. I'm gonna see if I'm still. Oh, Mom, I think there was, can you see me? Can you hear me okay, Mom? Okay, I think your microphone went off.
Yeah,
Okay.
it went off and on, yeah.
My apologies. I'm actually, my Wi-Fi isn't very good. We had some tropical storms here, so I think it paused for a minute. But I think what you're saying, Mom, really, is very simple for people to do anytime they want to ground themselves and go into that, reflection. I think also they could go into that period, of just taking a moment to contemplate, to pray, or to set those intentions. And, one thing you always say is if it isn't fun, you don't want to do it, And I do think that the power of prayer or offering good intentions really ripples into the world. And I think more so than, a lot of people are having a hard time.
Yeah.
And it could be somebody out there listening to this, so just take a moment. And, my husband would always say that the sun will always come up tomorrow. It will eventually get better. And set that positive intention, honor yourself, bless yourself, take care of yourself. I think those are all important things. And I think the other thing, when I was thinking about the day on the Mayan calendar and that it's our sacred road or our destination, is about And also that we're meeting on winter solstice, kind of thinking about what plants we're gonna, think about planting for our garden in the spring, or what seeds of intention are we planting, what seeds of wisdom do we have that we want to move into 2023? And this all seems to kind of go into the path and why you formed the path. And we might have some people joining us, Mom, that don't know much about the path. And I'm just going to take a minute. It's a nonprofit that my mom founded. And we have the temples for humanity, as we call them. We're honoring the 4 sacred elements. We also have the seed temple and the temple of the golden child. And Mom, maybe you can share a little bit about the seed temple and the temple of the golden child. If you have a moment, that would be wonderful.
The temple of the golden child is specific as a teaching space. And this is the space that when people come in person, this is the place that where we sit and we have our teachings. It's also a very beautiful little building. It is an octagonal building, and it is a design that that it's very common here in New Mexico with the Navajo tribe. So it's known as a hogan. And so this little hogan, when you come in, the floor is painted like the cosmos, and all the walls are made are done in gold. And I remember grinding some mica, which is this like, kind of sparkly kind of kind of like,
Mineral. Yeah.
and so we grounded it up and put it into the paint, into the gold paint. So it gives you like a special little sparkle, and it's just a special little room. And I've had many visions in there. I had one vision that I have so many, but I'll take one vision and share that with you. I saw this very, 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 very large human body, and she was just totally, totally naked. And she could have been as high as the ceiling, but she was laying down like on the side, and she was just looking at the ceiling, pointing towards the east. And she was making the sound of whoo, whoo. And it was just this beautiful, beautiful sound. And I had never seen such a large person before. And she was, of course, she was dark skinned, kind of like an earthen dark brown. And when I looked in my vision, when I looked over to where she was looking at, which was at the east door, I looked at the door from the hogan that faces the east. And right on the east door was this beautiful, beautiful living, breathing image of Lord Ganesha. And so when I saw Lord Ganesha, I just thought, oh, this is just too beautiful. And of course, he was dressed in gold and, just this beautiful, beautiful regalia that Ganesh had, and it was just so precious. And and of course, I've had visions outside of the temple of the Golden Child. It's called the Temple of the Golden Child because I received in a vision a golden baby that came in an egg. So it's really there's a lot of history with visions and dreams in that little building in that area. Yeah, thanks, Heather.
Can you talk a little bit about the seed temple and the
Well, everything that is there at the path, at the 40 acres, is there because it has been given to me through a vision, the spirit of a vision. And the seed temple came about 12 years ago, where I had a vision of the beloved mother. And I am sitting in my mom's rocking chair, and I'm just rocking away on the chair, and I heard the voice of the beloved mother. And she said to me, Flordemayo, I want you to make seed bundles for the children that are being born. And as I'm sitting in the rocking chair, I could see myself making these tiny, tiny little bundles of seeds. And as I saw myself making these tiny little bundles, the beloved mother said to me, give the bundles to the newborn babies and remind the mothers that the seeds are also children, that they need to be protected. And so this was like the whole beginning of that journey with the seed temple. And I started to put the word out in 2010 as I was traveling with the grandmothers, with the Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers. I started to put the word out wherever we went. It was through the donations of many people around the globe that I was able to construct a small building. It's like maybe 12 feet by 22 feet long. And we started with a basement. And that's where the seeds are. And from beginning to end, it took 9 months, which, here we go again. I mean, that's another auspicious moment, we're bringing life into this basement that is nice and cool. And then it's like a human baby that it goes from gestation, until birth, with the nine months. I thought about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, it evolved.
Yeah.
And it has been evolving. But that's the beginning of the seed temple.
And I want to take a minute to kind of let people know, and I know Valerie in the Facebook's including links But, the path is more than just when we say a seed temple, if you can imagine, because we're thinking about temples, places of prayer. But a lot of people might refer to what we have in the basement as like a seed vault or a seed library. And I'm actually going to turn off my video while I talk, Mom, because my Wi-Fi isn't that good. So I'm going to take a minute, but you'll hear me, but I'm going to just have you spotlighted.
Sure. Yeah.
So anyways, what I was saying is that the path is on 40 acres. It's in Estancia, New Mexico. It's just east of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And Estancia in itself is a tiny little town. It means place of rest. There's the Temple of the Golden Child, which Mom talked about, the Water Temple, the Fire Temple, the Seed Temple, and the Earth Temple. And we've had ceremonies, celebrations, teachings. Moving into this next year, we're hoping to do some seed socials a few times a year, both on the webinar, do some in-person events. And as I mentioned before, it is a tiny nonprofit. Most people only donate about $10 or join us as a member. And that's another way of helping sustain the path, is becoming a donor or a monthly member. And the Shift Network was so sweet to offer one of Mom's courses. So if you sign up for $10 a month through the Network for Good or through PayPal, in exchange, that reciprocity, you actually receive one of Mom's courses at the $10 a month. So we want to say thank you to the Shift Network for offering that. And it's a 7-course module. Other ways to help sustain the path, or you could do some shopping on the Love and Light website, adopting a crystal skull, being part of our circles, doing our webinars, coming to the in-person events is always welcomed. And I think one thing that I noticed, Mom, is it's really hard to kind of talk about seeds. It's a difficult thing for people to kind of resonate with, but I feel like it's so important, and you talk often about preserving them and how they have the light energy, or when we eat them, and being mindful, and if we just take a moment to think about, seeds are everything, whether it's the trees that we're, in the air that we're breathing, the food we're eating, us ourselves, the animals, everything comes from a seed. And, without those seeds, being preserved, they're just going to disappear forever. And maybe you could talk a little bit, about why you think it's been difficult for people to kind of resonate, with wanting to care about the seeds. It seems like it's been a little hard.
I don't know too much about, I can't speak too much about what people in general think, but the one thing to think about is that if we eat food that is organic, and I'm going to say something else also. In Central America, we grew the majority of what we ate. There were some things that we had to buy, but our staple food was rice and beans. And so I'm speaking to you because that's what I had at least 3 times a day. I had beans, all kinds of beans. And then from there, you added, some greens, you added some vegetables, you added other things, if you had the money, you added meat, you added avocados, all kinds of things, We don't use too much lettuce over there, but we do use a lot of cabbage. So it is like the staple food. And many of us have our own staple food around the globe. And so what I'm trying to say to you is that sometimes we think that, how can you buy all of this, different type of organic food? And it's hard because, especially like for me, I live in Estancia and I'm like an hour and 15-30 minutes from the nearest, let's say, Trader Joe, that I would go to, or any other store. So I understand all of that. But the beauty about eating wholesome food is that the body needs that. Our body is a physical body, but then we have the light body, which is the spirit body. And anything that is organic has that. It has its physicalness, and then it has its light. The trees have that. The flowers have that. All of the animals have that. And so the seeds, the organic seeds, have that. They have a light body. And this little light body has all of the memory of what it is. If it's a little flower, if it's a little bean, if it's corn. So a physical body needs to eat food that has this light. And that's all that I'm saying. If we could bring it into our way of thinking, that in Central America, we were very poor. But even if we had a little carrot every once in a while, we knew that it was organic. And we knew that our beans that were grown, because we have 4 cycles of growing over there, that the beans were fresh. They were from the community, from our neighbor's yard. And that the soil was good. So we have to think about that. We have to think about the farmers that are out there working to help grow this organic food from all over the world, And every bit of food, we go into crisis about it. It's like, the food disappears, I remember when I was a kid in Central America, we had so many avocados, we didn't know what to do with them. We invented things to do with them. But, now they're hard to get. And avocado has become such a worldwide food that you can't grow it enough for everybody, and it's forbidden to take out seeds from these countries that are growing avocado. And the reason for that is because they want to protect their seeds. They want to protect them. And many countries around the globes and islands, they don't allow their seeds to go out, and they don't allow other seeds to come in and contaminate their seeds. So there's this, behind the scene that is going on around the seeds. but because we are this flesh and bones, and because we have a spirit, we have a light, we want to eat food that can give us the same thing, the food that has light to nourish us. And not only that, but it tastes yummy.
Yeah, it does. I think it, and anyone listening to us out there, Facebook or here on the webinar, one thing that we're hoping as we move into 2023 is we're looking at a few in-person events. So I encourage you to follow us on social media, subscribe to our email, and, stay in touch with us. We do some monthly astrology. That's a lot of fun. We meet with my brother, his partner, Michael, my mom, and I. We do those monthly, usually on a Sunday before the full moon. We always want to make sure, we do have a donation on those that whenever you subscribe to our webinars, all the proceeds go to the path, but we want to make it available to anyone. So if ever we're offering something and you can't afford it, just reach out to us. We'll make sure that you have my email and, to stay in touch. And I think as we, if anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in Facebook and I'll get them or put them in the chat. And as we think about the winter solstice, Mom, it's the longest night of the year, the shortest day. As you said, it's a time to give gratitude, and I think that's an easy practice that we have to be grateful. Even if we're having a hard time, there's simply something to be grateful for every day.
Yeah. Like, how about being awake and realizing that? As simple as that,
Yeah.
that we're grateful for the moment. It could be as simple as that. Yeah.
For the moment, be grateful for the moment, and if we think about that, it's the longest night of the year. A lot of times it's, dark out, but the light is always going to return, and I think it's a good thing for us to practice during solstice, to be patient, be present, be persistent, be authentic, show up, be grateful. And one thing I had written on this is to be like a seed today and remind yourself that a seed neither fears light nor darkness, but needs both of them to grow. And we go through life and we have, you would say, we experience the good and what is it, the mundane?
No, the indifference.
The indifferent.
Yeah.
And, and that's how we grow on our spiritual path. Maybe you could share a little bit more about that. Any words of wisdom as we're moving through today?
Well, the journey on earth is that, is experiencing those dualities, the duality of night and day, the duality of sweet and sour, the duality of the good and the indifferent. And we need to how should I say, go through those and understand those dualities and work with them, and on our journey. And being in a human physical form, we get to experience a lot of things, like love is one thing that we get to experience, being in love, with someone, or in love with nature, in love with animals, in love with all that exists, that is around us. We get to experience with our physical eyes the beauty of nature. So our physical body is something to be really grateful for. And for the women, your seed carriers of the future generation, you know? And the same thing with the men, if we did not have the semen from the men, we could not have that capacity of becoming pregnant. Um, so the physical body is an important thing, to be able to hear, to be able to speak, to be able to have a dialogue, to be able to enjoy looking at another human being. Some of us are loners, and some of us, love people around us, Um, but we get to feel our bodies, in this physical form
Mhm.
and experience it, and it's just a remarkable natural thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if my Wi-Fi will cooperate, but I think as we move through the day, I don't know if there's any questions, Valerie, if you send me some, if there's any. Um, and I don't see any that are coming in from anyone on the webinar. If you do have any questions, you can put them in chat or raise your hand for the Q&A. But one thing I wanted to do is we came up with some journal prompts for Solstice. And I'm just going to read them off, and maybe you can think about them and reflect upon them. Think about what goals you're going to set towards Solstice and the renewal.
Yeah.
What goals do you have spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally? What transformations are you working towards? And one nice thing to do monthly is you could think back on the month that we're in, December. What are you grateful for? And how are you going to practice gratitude or being grateful moving into January, moving into 2023? Um, and think about what intentions or what you want to call in for this winter solstice. And there could be some easy rituals, like you said, Mom, just lighting the sage, lighting a candle, setting those intentions, setting the prayers, using your breath, and maybe you could show them how to bless themselves and guide us through as we move into closing this. What we'll do is we'll do maybe you could do the sacred humming, Mom, the murmurio, and talk about that, close us with a prayer, and then I'm going to share a video of the path, and that would be wonderful.
Sure. The murmurio is a humming that moms do with their children, their babies especially, but they always do it. And it's this vibrational sound that is made through the breath, inhaling and exhaling, and it's good for just nurturing yourself. So let's say that you're sitting alone and you want to bless yourself and bring in some of that energy of your mom and your ancestors, your lineage of your mom, the female lineage. So you breathe in, and as you exhale, you let that sound come out, and so it would be inhaling and exhaling, but you keep your mouth closed and you do it like this. Mm. 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 So what happens is that you quiet yourself down, and just the whole vibrational sound is something that you can do without an instrument. It's you and the capacity of your breath. Everything has its vibration, including the earth. The earth, they've been able to duplicate the sound that the earth makes. So this is a way of calming yourself and bringing yourself into that place of just not only blessing yourself, but loving yourself, just bringing that motherly love that you might need, that you might want. Or let's say, for example, you have your partner, your husband, your mate, your lover, and you can embrace each other and you can hum at each other. And that's really very intense. And so you can just love yourself. Mm. 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 And or you can hum just to send it out uh, into the universe, just sitting down very quietly. Mm. 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 And so when I was a child, my mom, would do the murmurio with us. So this is a beautiful way of loving and honoring yourself. I'm going to close us with a prayer. Beloved Creator, Mother, Father, beloved beauty, beloved heart of the heavens, heart of the earth. Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to come together, beloved Creator, in the name of all that exists and in the name of all of our ancestors. In the name of all of the sacred places around the globe, beloved Creator, and all of the beauty that exists around the globe, your mountains, your valleys, your streams, your rivers, your oceans, beloved Creator. Thank you to the spirit of the sacred breath, the spirit of the sacred sun, the fire, the spirit of the sacred waters, the rain, the spirit of the earth, and all that exists. Beloved Creator, in the name of all of this beauty that you have created for us, in the name of the great mystery, beloved Creator, I thank you.
Thank you, Mom. I'm gonna go on and share a video about the path and then just come back and then we'll close it. So with your permission, I'll need your guidance because we're gonna see make sure that you're able to see it. So one moment. And hold on a minute. It'll take.
Word that is
Can you
very
see?
much of us. We have images of footprints throughout.
Can you see it, Mom?
Yes, I could see it. I'm going to take myself off the camera. Go ahead.
The path is a word that is very much of us. We have images of footprints throughout the beginning of life. And the footprints, it is really translates to what we leave here. And the path is the sacred walk that you do between ourselves and our creator. The mediator is the spirit of the wind. The mediator is the spirit of the water. What I know is what the earth says to me, what the wind says to me, what the birds say to me, what the rocks say to me, what all of nature speaks to me. So I am the listening ear and the one that delivers that message.
The Path is a nonprofit, and our vision is to bring awareness about seed preservation. A lot of times you'll see my mom go to events and she makes little seed bundles, and it's got a seed of corn, squash, and bean. But I think it gets people thinking about where their food comes from. Just like animals, if the seeds die, they're gone forever. They're just extinct. And I think it's bringing this awareness, and my mom tries to weave that into her spiritual events and the mandate that she received, welcoming people to the path.
We've had many, many, many volunteers, very, very dear, dear people that came and gave of their time when they heard the vision. And this is only done because of volunteers. We have seed keepers. We have professional people with over 35 years experience of seed growing. We have people that are experienced in soil over 30, 40 years.
We work with a lot of other organizations or seed keepers that keep these collections. We have worked with the Rocky Mountain Seed Alliance, we work with the Pueblo de Suzuki, and then many people have a collection of seeds. We store them in the seed temple. It's down underground. There's a full basement, and you got to keep the seeds viable. So they have to stay at that certain temperature and humidity. And we're just there to help organizations or help people and keep those for future generations.
The land here is known as the 40 acres. And so this whole place here has only been created through the guidance of spirit. When you walk and you come through that gate, it is the door of transformation. It's a place of growth. We have to honor the heart of the earth and the heart of the heavens.
A lot of times we'll do open houses, or we collected a whole bunch of grandmothers and wisdom keepers and elders, and we weave together an event, a weekend around spirituality, but we also talk about seed preservation. So I think that her prayer, it kind of ripples out. And I think she also helps let people know that these answers are really within us, that you hopefully leave with empowerment and a sense of love and peace.
My mission here is to love God, because I'm constantly in a state of prayer, surrender, prayer, surrender, prayer, surrender. I just keep on moving. I keep walking on my sacred path. And it doesn't matter what happens on a daily basis. I just have to keep moving. Nothing can stop me. Not words, not actions. Even if a boulder comes in front of me, I will go through it. Because I am not of this physical body. I experience who I am in the life, and I will just keep moving. And we have to start thinking that way. We are at the crossroads of humanity right now. And we have to listen. And that's why we have to honor all of nature and take care of it.
Okay. Mom, I'm going to ask you to turn on your camera while we say goodbye to everyone. And, you know, I just want to let everyone know how much we appreciate you. We want to wish you a blessed winter solstice. We encourage you to stay in touch with us. And Mom, what are you going to do to celebrate winter solstice today? You in the cold New Mexico.
Yeah, I'm gonna have so much fun being bundled and having soup, and I want to introduce everybody to our baby bouncing baby four-legged little guy. Come on up, Jack. There he is. Uppity. Yeah. He just had a little bit of water out of my glass, of course. Come on up, Jack. Come on. Here we go. I don't
and
know if you could see him in
Yeah,
the
and they
camera.
saw him in the little
there's
video.
little baby. Yeah, he's so cute.
But
Yes. So it's.
I
I'm
want
gonna
to thank everyone
Since-
for joining us
he's-
and wish, oh,
he's pushing me.
he's gonna push you into the duendes.
Yeah.
I want to encourage everyone, take a look, follow us on social media. Mom's got lots of free videos on YouTube. We've got free blogs on Love and Light. There's a holiday sale. We've got crystal skulls for adoption. They're all tax deductible. And if you could join us as a member or make a year-end tax donation, we would be so appreciative. You know, $5, $10, it all adds up and it means a lot. And stay in touch with us as we move into 2023. We wish you a beautiful and happy winter solstice. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and we will see you in the new year.
Happy
Many
holidays,
blessings.
everybody. Happy holidays.
Okay, many blessings. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.